Hello, hello, and happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I am in my office, as you can see, and I am hot. I am burning up. I said, what made me think I could wear a turtleneck, in this office? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but hopefully I can make it without changing my shirt. I have on my ceiling fan. I have all things ready to cool me off. So we will see. My heater is on it, like my heat is on. I turned it all the way down and it's still like I can feel it coming out now. So hopefully when the heat turns off, did it turn off? It did not turn off. When the heat turns off, I will be okay. I will be okay. So welcome, welcome. Wellness Wednesday. Today we are talking about kind of like a health and wellness issue, which is weight discrimination. Weight discrimination. And when I saw this case of this rapper, and they call her, you know, they call her the fat rapper. We're gonna spell fat with the Phat, and they call her, the fat rapper. And she's just been going around the internet because she is suing. Who knows who she's suing? Put in the chat. We have 4 people in the chat right now. Put in the chat if you know what company she is suing. Jamisha, I see a new name. Jamisha, how are you? How are you? So I see Taisha, of course. Taisha is the first one here. Lakeisha, they're neck and neck. I love it. We have Z, we have Mia. All right, so they're putting in the chat, Jamisha. We're trying to figure out. They're trying to tell me who Dank Demoss is suing, and so she is suing Lyft. And I saw some reports around the internet today saying that this lawsuit is settled. It's not settled. Like if I'm wrong, let me know. But I looked into that, and it's not settled. And I'll tell you why people think that. I'll tell you why people think that, but we'll see. Okay, so who else do we have in here? We have She Is Tamika. We have Natural. You see how I wanted to sing that song? It's so catchy. I didn't do it. We have Naturalista 20. I love that name. Okay, everybody's saying Lyft. Lyft, Val saying Lyft. And I did put it in the title, but sometimes people don't look at that. They just kind of look at the thumbnail. Oh, it's on my thumbnail too. Well, then you would have really not had to be paying attention if you didn't get that. All right, so let's show this thumbnail. Look at this. Do you guys know are you familiar with this lady? This young lady, her name is Dank Demoss, and she's a rapper from Detroit. And so I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to share exactly. This is the thumbnail. I did have a Lyft car. You see how that little, what do you call that? What is that called when you pound the table down? I don't know what that's called. I can't, it's not coming to me right now. But what is that called? Now I want to know. What is that called, guys, where the judge uses to like order in the court, order in the court? What is that called? I'm not sure. You guys have to tell me. A gavel. Yes, Naturalista, a gavel. Okay, so yeah, the gavel. So I put that on there because I just am interested, not what the court is going to rule, but the statement behind it, right? I'm interested in the statement. So just in case you don't know, let me give you a little background. And this is all alleged because I don't want anybody trying to sue me about, anything. So, but this is the research I've done, and I've listened to her interview. She was on the Breakfast Club. I listened to that, and then I listened to people react to the Breakfast Club. And actually, when she went on the Breakfast Club, people are saying she ruined her case. So if you're watching, I don't know if you seen or heard that, but people are saying she ruined her case. So she said she was at the Lions game. She's lives in Detroit. She was in Detroit. She said she called a Lyft, and the Lyft came, and the Lyft was a Mercedes. And I don't know the class of the Mercedes, but I saw it. It was, like a smaller one, but I don't know the exact model. So if anybody finds that out and could put it in the chat, that would be great. But so anyway, when she gets to the car, to get in the Lyft, this is what the driver said to her in so many words, but these are quotes. But just in case, allegedly. if the quotes aren't correct. But I did listen to it myself, and I was trying to jot down some of it. The driver said, "You can't fit in this car." He said, "There's no room in," and then she said, she could sit in the back, I guess. And he said, "There's no room in the back." And then he said something interesting: "My tires won't be able to handle your weight." And then he said, "I faced similar issues in the past. You should order an extra large vehicle. XL vehicle is what they call it." And I don't know if you guys have ordered larger cars, but I have, when it was a lot of us, getting in a car. So yeah, so that's what he said. And then she said, "I can fit in this car." She tried to reason with the driver. She assured him she could fit in the back seat. And he would not, take her. And he was very nice. One thing I noticed, he was very nice. He was very respectful. Now, some people say he wasn't nice because he didn't let her in the car. So, I mean, you could take that, that theory too. I just thought he treated her respectfully. He didn't name call. He was very calm the whole time. So I did notice that about the driver. And so basically, what is she suing for? She is suing for discrimination. She's suing for discrimination based on weight. She's suing for unlawful harassment based on weight. She's also suing for stress, humiliation, mental anguish, and emotional damage. And she basically said on that Breakfast Club, she was livid. She was livid when she couldn't get the car. So I'm going to tell you more about the whole Breakfast Club interview, because if I was lawyers on either side, I would be looking at that interview. That interview was key. And she was not on there, I believe, with the lawyers at the time. She was on there with a couple of other people who I kind of fill you in on what what they were doing. But I just think, I just thought interesting that, she went on there, and I'm pretty sure she probably saw it as an opportunity, right? To, she's an up and coming, rapper trying to make it big time. And who wouldn't want to go on the Breakfast Club and promote yourself? So I think she probably thought about that more so than she thought about every little thing you say when there's a pending case can be used against you. And so, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in a few minutes here. So anyway, that's the gist of the case. If I missed something, let me know in the chat, but that's the gist of what happened. So she went on the Breakfast Club. Now, let me tell you, first of all, what Lyft said, because I have their statement. I'm going to read you their statement. The Lyft people immediately, because she recorded this, like in her mind, she thought, I'm going to record this. So she has everything on tape that was said. So Lyft said, with my, eyes here, we're just, they shouted this, they sent this to her on Instagram or Twitter. I think it was Instagram. "We're disheartened to look at this driver's unacceptable behavior." This is from Lyft. "Please DM us at your earliest convenience for additional support. We'd like to address this as soon as possible." So, now that did whatever they, said or didn't say, or they got in touch with her or not, she felt like she still wanted to sue. So, it's interesting. Now, her attorney said, weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan. So this was illegal to say he's not taking her based on her, her weight. And I said weight. It sounds like I said race, but I said weight. "Refusing someone transportation due to their weight is no different than refusing someone transportation based on their religion." So that is that point. So let me tell you what she said on the Breakfast Club a little bit, and then I'll get your, and I have some questions, and then I'll get your opinion. So when she was on the Breakfast Club, she comes into the Breakfast Club, and she said, they have a seat, and she said she needed, I think she sat down in it. From what I remember, she sat down in it, and then she said she wanted a bigger seat. So the only thing they had was like a kind of like a couch area, and so they ended up pulling that couch area up, I believe, and she sat there. But so yeah, so basically, they were, she wasn't comfortable in the chair, so they accommodated her in another way. And she said, "That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, accommodation. So that's her, her big thing is she felt like that Lyft driver should have accommodated her. And one of the things she said was her best friend, another guy said that was with her, said her best friend has a car just like that one, has a Mercedes, just like that, same size, everything. So when the car pulled up, she knew that's why she knew she could fit in it because, some of the co-hosts and the host on the Breakfast Club said, you didn't see that car, you thought you could fit in that car, and she said yes, and they seemed shocked that she could fit in the car, and that's the reason she told them. The guy said, spoke up and said her best friend has a car like that, the same Mercedes, and so she knew she could fit into it. And she, told them on the Breakfast Club she didn't want them to use the F word. She kept calling it the F word, which is, fat. And she says she doesn't use that word. Interesting thing is she is 598 pounds. Well, she was. At the time this happened, I don't know if she started losing weight after that, but this is her. If you haven't seen a picture of her, this is her, how she looks. And so this is her that was getting into the car. And so she said she had been overweight. She has been overweight all of her life. She said all of her, she's pretty much in high school. She was a bigger size. I'm trying to think of, what she said exactly. But in a way, they were trying to establish with her, if you've been bigger all this time in your life, aren't you used to making some adjustments? Like everything is not going to, fit for someone who is 598 pounds or however many pounds. And she said that she's always being accommodated. She said she's nice, she's sweet, wherever she goes, she's always accommodated. And she said that when she said Southwest is the best airline. She said when she goes on Southwest, she gets 2 seats and they only charge her for the one. And then everybody was shocked when she said that. And then she said at Delta, and they were like, well, I know Delta's not doing that. And she said also at Delta, they recognized she needed 2 seats and they didn't charge her for the 2 seats. And I always thought, Delta did, but she said they did not. So she said that she is used to this accommodation. So she says she doesn't feel like because she's bigger, she should have to order an extra large car, the XL. She thinks like, she should be able to order the regular cars. Why? Because she knows she can fit into it. So some of the things that, and I'm going to read to this what she said. Anytime she says, I like to shout out Southwest because they accommodate bigger people. If you need 2 seats, they're going to give it to you for free. If you pay for 2 seats, they're going to refund you. And somebody said, really? I don't have a problem with that. One of the co-hosts. And she said, she says, yeah, she says, like, that, what it is. She says, that's what I'm saying. We don't speak about it, but they do. And she said, the last time I went to Delta, they said Delta charged you. And she said, no. She said Delta was cool. They did not charge her. She said, the lady said, ma'am, you might need 2 seats, but we're going to let you get on this time. So this time, so I don't know if they would do that every time, but she says she's never had a problem with her seating. She says, when I get on a plane, I never have problems. When I come into a room, I demand my respect. I'm sweet. I'm a nice person. So I feel like people respect that. I respect you. You respect me. It's never issues with me. The issue be when the steering, or the issue be when people, I'm going to ad lib here, when people are steering or judging or, stuff like that. And she says, a lot of people look at me and be like, oh, she just eats. And she do that all the time. That's all she does is eat. That's not my reality either. She said, I do eat, but I just don't sit down. I don't just, she says, it's just not like I'm like the 600-pound life. I've never watched the 600-pound life. So if you guys watch that, you know what she's talking about. She says, that's not my life. I think it's more so like coming from a health standpoint too. She says, like one of my friends, so somebody asked her, has one of your friends or anybody else tried to get you to lose weight? And she said, because like, have they fear for your life or anything like that? And she says, she said no. She says she feels like she's always been accommodated. That's why she got so mad. She felt like she should have been accommodated, and she couldn't believe that she wasn't. So she's saying she's really never had. This was like one of the first times she's ever had issues. And even in high school, she was in her 500s. So she has been big. Now she was, a bigger person. She was diagnosed. She says, and I'm going to quote her in her own words. She says, "Yeah." What did they say? Somebody said, "Wait a minute, because when you were in high school and you were about to graduate," and she says, "Yeah, I was about to graduate. I was big though. I was like 532. I was in high school, and when I was about to graduate, um, she says, I was always big." She says, so to break down the incident of so then they said, we'll break down the incident and what happened. And she says, yeah, when I order the regular cars and I feel like I don't have to order an extra, because people are saying, just order the bigger car so you know you fit and it won't be this issue. And she's saying she doesn't have to feel like she has to do that. But someone pointed out the reason why she doesn't want to do that because it's more expensive. Now, it's not that much more expensive. I guess it could be, if you're going, I've been in, not Lyft. I don't think I've ever been in a Lyft, or that I ordered, but I've been in an Uber. And when you get that other car, the bigger car, sometimes it's even been the same price as a smaller car. And obviously that's probably not her situation, or she's not looking at, she didn't look at the other prices, but I don't think it's that much more. But, it's like that, that blouse that, is on the, in the store. I don't know if you guys ever been to, but I remember back in the day, they would have the same shirt in a smaller size and it would be cheaper. And I'm going to be honest with you, I used to get so annoyed by that. But then somebody told me, who was a seamstress, who was making something for me, told me that the reason why you pay more because it's more material you're using, and that you need to make the shirt. And once it was explained like that to me, I do get that. I get that about, the shirt size, you have to use more material. Now, how much more you have to charge, that's a whole nother story, because I don't think an extra yard or two of fabric is going to make or break, and it should cost, 20 or 50 more dollars. I mean, it's kind of some reasonable in this, that I think. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, one of the things I found out listening to that interview, this is interesting, is she ended up, she says she's been active. She has a gym in her house. She moves around. One thing I will say, if you watch my interview too on the downsides, I did say this. I think I said this, but I've said it somewhere. But I think for me, I used to, people always say, I don't see you eating a lot. So, how people don't see you eating because they're not at your house with you when you're eating. But, one of my cousins lived with me. He's college age. And he used to always say, Shay, he was like, you don't eat a lot. He's like, I don't understand why you are gaining weight and why you have so much weight. And when I started looking, I wasn't tracking calories, and wasn't really tracking calories until I decided to cut back. But when I started to track calories just to see, like, what am I eating? I was eating like 5,000 or 6,000 calories for my one or two meals or one meal and a half. And so if you've ever tracked, like, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, KFC, any restaurants, even the fancier, nicer restaurants, you track. And I don't eat steak. I always say I'm a cheap date, and I don't, you could get some, Ruth Crisp and all that. You can get some nice big old steaks. I don't eat steak. I don't eat lobster. I don't eat crab legs. I don't eat any of that. I'm basic. I eat chicken, shrimp, fish, and turkey. I don't eat any kind of beef or any kind of pork. So, I said all that to say, the things I'm ordering aren't super expensive, but, when I add up the calories with, some of that stuff with the fried and, and I love all things fried, potato skins I was eating, all that kind of stuff. Mozzarella sticks are fried. That stuff adds up. Those calories add up. So you can eat, like what looks like a small portion, and it could be worth, 4 or 5,000 calories. And then you could eat, I have like something else, maybe a little lighter than that. But I could eat 6,000 calories without eating a whole lot of food. It wasn't the bulk. It was just what I was eating. And, I'm sure everybody in here can relate to that. What I was eating was the calories were just outrageous. And if you're basing your calorie intake on 2,000, look how far over I was. And I wasn't eating like that every day, but I was eating like that a majority of the weeks, especially on the weekend. On the weekend, you could guarantee I was going to be eating like that. So I can relate and understand. So with that part of it, when she says, I'm not eating like that. Now, somebody might say, downsizing diva, in order for her to get to 580 something pounds, come on, she had to be eating more than just a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know her story. I don't know, what that situation is. But I do, like I said, I can relate when she says she's probably not eating. People think when you're a bigger person, you're eating all day long. You're just like grazing all day. And I believe some people probably eat once or twice, like myself, in a day, and just eat the wrong foods, and you pack on those pounds. So I do believe she probably wasn't eating all day, but what she's eating, she's eating a lot of calories whenever she's eating. And I'm sure at this point her metabolism and everything is kind of off track. And so she has lost 80 pounds. That's the good news. She's on semaglutide. I think she's working with some kind of, I didn't catch what it was. Not a med spa, but some kind of little program. And I don't know that it's like a hospital, but it's something like that, like some kind of care center. And I could be wrong. So if you know exactly what it is, let me know. But yeah, she said she's working with this, and the lady that was working with her is on there. And she says she also has taken a weight loss supplement. And I was in my kitchen listening to this interview, and when she said a weight loss supplement, you know how like you turn your head real fast? I'm like, huh? What? So the lady explained that it's basically a multivitamin. So I guess if she's not getting all the nutrients she needs in the food she's eating, she also has that multivitamin. So she'll probably lose fast because she has a lot to lose. I think she's she has a Instagram page. She's documenting her weight loss on there, and so that's my little spiel about it. And, I'm going to tell you, I was reading some of these comments, like people are ruthless. I mean, some of the things that people said, I'm going to read just a few because I want to know what you guys think about this. But yeah, I just was like, people are no joke. I should have brought my glasses. So a lot of people were upset that they thought she was trying to go after the driver. And eventually she came out and said she hasn't talked to the driver. She doesn't know anything about the driver. She said she just wants, she just does not want that to happen to her again. I guess whatever policy that he thought that allowed him to do that, she didn't appreciate it. So somebody said, and I was going to put these on the screen so you could see the comments, but I didn't want to put people's names out there, so I didn't. But this comment says, first of all, this guy says, why is it that as a society we are always trying to I'm not going to say the curse word, but blink, I'm going to say blip on the hardworking man? Like maybe that should have been her wake-up call to go and lose some weight. So that's what he said. This other lady says, at some point, y'all have to stop trying. I picture her saying it like this. At some point, y'all have to stop trying to pacify everybody for stupid, you know what, SHIT. He didn't want to risk any damage to his car, and he had the right to refuse service. If he didn't have a seatbelt extender for her, then he was at risk of getting a ticket. I hope she loses the case. Now, that brings up a point about the seatbelt, because can she put a seatbelt on in that back seat? So what do you guys think? Weigh in, weigh in. Maybe you are weighing in. Isn't that, no pun intended, weigh in? You get it? But what are you guys saying about that? So I guess, what are your thoughts about her lawsuit? Do you think it was justified? I think I saw some people in there. I just want to know, do you think it was justified, that lawsuit? Yes or no? And if you can explain why. So Let's see. A lot of people are saying hello. I'm only gonna go to the comments where people are making a comment about this. Mia says, I've been told that us FAT need to sit one on each side of the car to even out the car in the back. In my day, when riding with people, I knew to go somewhere because of people say this the shock system. I guess what do you call that? The hydraulics, the shock system. I don't know what you call that. In the car, yeah. I've never been told that, but I can imagine. Delilah says, I've always had a fear of fitting in cars. Seatbelts must click for you to ride legally in the US. There's no way that was happening with her. Cars and tires do have weight limits. Reality exists. Oh, okay. All right. All right. What do you guys think about that? So car didn't flip from heavy weights on one side. Okay. Okay. Yes, Mia, it is true. Weight distribution is real with cars, especially tiny cars. Okay. Lyft makes me mad for firing him. Okay, because maybe it violated their policy for him. But is it, I also was thinking, and I don't know because I'm not a Lyft driver. I don't know. I do know a Lyft driver. I do. I need to ask her. I'm going to text her while we're on here. Maybe she'll text me back. But I just thought about that. I have a friend that picked up a part-time job and is as a Lyft driver. I'm gonna ask though, is because I wonder, is the car a part of, that's your own car, right? So can he say like I'm not risking my car, or I feel like it's a risk to my property in some way? I wonder what they sign. Can they refuse people? Are they given guidelines up front to let them know you can refuse based on that? But I guess he figures, the Michigan law, and the Michigan law says what? That you can't discriminate based on weight. So I don't know. Taisha says, I don't think his behavior was unacceptable at all. You don't think it was unacceptable. Okay, okay. So you do you do think that he was justified, Taisha. Is that what you're saying? I agree, Taisha. He was respectful, and that makes it completely different. Drivers have recommendations. Okay, I meant gave her recommendation. He did. I did see the video. I don't remember it word from word, but I thought he was very, very nice. Did anyone see the video? Did she show she knew she could fit? It was a compact SUV, not a compact car like the now terminated driver was in. I don't know. That I don't know. But she said that she knew she could fit because she has driven in a previous car, like her best friend has that exact same car. Did he ever say she was too big or too fat? Now let me go to his quotes now. I'm gonna read this again, Jen. He says, you can't fit in this car. So I mean, that's kind of saying you're too big without saying you're too big. One thing I have learned since being on this YouTube journey is some people need you to say the facts and say it flat out, right? So some people need, you can't, try to be nice and tiptoe around stuff. You need to say it right out loud. So she sounds like he was trying to say everything in these statements, but you're too big to get in my car. So he said it, he tried to say it in the nicest way. And I'm going to tell you, I could totally relate to this guy, totally relate to this part of it. I mean, when he's telling her, he's basically, she knows, basically what he's saying, but he didn't flat out come out and say, you're too fat. But he did say, you can't fit in this car. There's no room in the back. Because I guess she was saying she could fit in the back. My tires won't be able to handle your weight. I faced similar issues in the past. You should order an XL vehicle. So he's telling her, basically, what do you think? Did he ever say she was too fat or too big? And he didn't say those words, but she knows what he's talking about. Hey, Mel, Delilah, Jen, he said something like she wouldn't fit. So his exact words allegedly were, you can't fit in this car. Let's see. Mia says, in this case, she was way bigger. Than either one of us was in this guy's car. 200 pounds is different than 300 pounds. He's twice as big. Delilah says, first, she's lying. I know those airline rules inside and out. Legacy Airlines charge for an extra seat unless the flight is empty and they can move you to a row with just no one. Well, she said she was on Delta. So maybe in Delta, do you know about Delta? Maybe Delta, did that. Maybe they made an exception. Now, she didn't say they do it all the time, because remember what she said? She said, this lady said, ma'am, you might need, no, she says, you might need 2 seats, ma'am. We're going to let you on this time. So that tells me that their policy is that you get an extra seat belt. But why am I all in the camera like that? So that tells me their policy says you get an extra seat. You normally we would make you get an extra seat, but we're going to make an exception to the rule this time. That's what that tells me. And those were her words. Like, that's what she said. Her story is ridiculous, Tamika says, but Southwest offers the accommodations on non-sold out flights. It's not the same as making 2-seat reservations. Okay. So you said, first of all, it has to be a non-sold, which makes sense. It's not sold out. But they still could make you pay for it. So the fact that they're not making her pay is nice. And so if she's offered that, let's say she's offered that privilege or that opportunity, or of not paying, she probably, it's an expectation for her now. It sounds like it's her expectation. She's not going to have to pay. I do not think the driver was disrespectful and should have not been fired. No, I'm surprised he was fired. I really am. He's probably over there, living his best life, playing his music, working for Uber now. Ah, okay. I watched My 600-Pound Life. Dr. Now cracks me up. Like, she referenced the 600-Pound Life in her thing. He doesn't play. I've never seen that. I have to go back and watch it. I think the driver should sue her for slander and Lyft for he probably will, wrong for termination. I'm sure he will, unless he just is one of those guys that's like easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and doesn't want to be bothered with it. Dank takes care of family members, she said on Deb's House, but she wasn't sweet on that show. She showed out at the store that didn't have her size to wear in her photo shoot. She threw a fit. Okay, well, one thing I will say about the stores is, I'll go in the store, not here recently, but even when I was not even this size, I was smaller, I would go in the store, and it'd be one of those stores where sometimes I go in boutiques and stuff, and all I could do, because, my mom was thin, and all I could do was just probably like squeeze my, my arm in the, in the thigh, because the clothes were so small. And sometimes I would go in there, my mom and I would separate, and I would go in the store, and, she'd come in there after. But, they would just assume that you are in there shopping for you. How do you know I'm not in this boutique where I can't fit a thing, though? But how do you know I'm not shopping for my sister, my mom, my aunt, anybody? They just assume you're in there, you can't afford it. And that irritates me. When that happens, because you have some of those girls that look at you like, what are you doing in here type of look, and I do not like that. Because you don't know who I could be spending my money for, and you don't know what I'm in there doing. So yeah, that irritates me. Now, she was in that store and she got all bent out of shape, but really they knew she was a plus size lady, so I feel like they should have gone somewhere where the clothes could accommodate her too. So that's just my thinking on that. I did not see Deb's House. I'm going to go back, Mia, and watch it because you told me. Jania, she says, if a regular Uber is $30, the Uber X is going to be $70 or $75. Oh my goodness. You know what? For some reason, I remember it not being that much more. And I don't know if it was the particular time I was in there. I was in, where was I at? I think might have been in Vegas the one time. I was in when we got the XL, and it was because it was a lot of us. It wasn't because it was, we were bigger or something like that. It was because of the amount of people. Let me see what else. And then even that XL, was that an XL? A Tesla showed up. It was a nice Tesla. It was a Tesla that showed up. up to pick us up. So yeah, I don't remember it being that much though, but I could be wrong. I just remember thinking like, oh, it's not that much more than the next size up. Mia says, love me some Dr. Now. You are eating over your calories. You're not making changes. It cracks me up. Yeah, it's that tough love. I think Lyft is the same, maybe a little cheaper. Okay, all right. Me too, Mia. You guys are talking about Dr. Now. Is it Dr. Now? I went to my Fitness Pal, put in some meals I used to get at fast food places. Yeah, and the calories are insane. Nia, they are. So you're so right. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button, lovelies. Thank you. I've been delighted. I've been stickers. I've seen stickers of him, and oh yeah, I've seen those too. Of his funny little sayings. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go down to comments about this. Okay, Tamika, yes, talked about that. Yes, she admitted to being big as a child, and she said in high school she was 500 pounds. Can you imagine being 500 pounds in high school? I just can't even imagine. I don't think the kids were as cruel back then. But she's younger than me, so she's way younger than me. So maybe they are. When I was that young, kids were cruel, but not as much as they are now. I think being exposed to all that social media has made things worse. Mia says it's calories, high calorie food does a body bad. Yes, yes, yes. You don't have to eat all day to eat through. Yeah, you don't. But people assume that. That's one of the misconceptions about being plus size. People assume you're eating all day long. They think that's all you're doing. Hey, tuning in late. Oh, Heavenly Spirit Podcast. Hi, I missed you too. We all missed you, Tia. I hope everything is going well for you. Everybody say, oh, hello, Miss Tia. She knows the driver was fired like the rest of the world knows. Yeah, and she did make a statement. I had printed that out. I don't know where I could find it. And maybe I didn't print that out, but yeah, she made a statement about the driver getting fired. And she's saying she never said anything about him wanting to get him fired. And she's saying her issue is with Lyft, not with him, because he's just a driver. So I guess she's saying, he thought he could do that and get away with it because of Lyft. So that's probably why they fired him, to cover their tracks. Maybe they'll hire him back, but if I were him, would I want that job back? Probably not. I hope she loses the case, Norma says. Oh my goodness. Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life. Hey fam, how are you? How are you? Tamika said, you should advocate for protection. For your protection. He was looking out for his car, which is his moneymaker. Yes, good point. Just the kid that lost his life in Orlando, all because the worker didn't make sure the harness was on correctly. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? I think she might have caught a nice worker that didn't want trouble, or he was very nice, or a scene on the airplane. But I agree with Delilah. That's not most airline rules. Yes, it's not. So, for some reason, she's been able to do this, she said, and she just thinks it's all good. It's all good. So it's a lot more comments. Let me ask you guys. So let me read another comment. So I wonder what you guys thought about this. Well, first of all, somebody said, this is not me, right? Let me take my, this is not me. This is a comment. I'm reading these from my phone. So the lady says, or the guy, this is a guy, I guess. No, this is a lady. She says, fix the problem with an X, like a red X. Sue the world for not being normalized to dinosaur size. Now that was a low blow. Let me read that again. Fix the weight problem. Sue the world for not being normalized to dinosaur size. Oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. If I would have read that, I would be in tears. And some other lady says, what the F? She better not win. So these people were going in. Then this one says, which kind of reminds me of what you guys are saying. This one says, a driver has the right to refuse anyone for any reason they see fit. It's their personal property, not Lyft. She's not going to win. So, I think a lot of you said that. And that's what was my question is, because they had to, in order to fire him, Like, what was their reasoning for firing him? I wonder what they told him, because if it's in fact his property, he should be able to tell her, no, I can't drive you, for whatever reason. And, let's read what he says again. You can't fit in this car. He said, there's no room in the back. My tires won't be able to handle your weight. I faced similar issues in the past. So it sounds like he's had a experience before, or he probably let somebody in the car and had damage, but I don't know. I'm just reading into that. And then he said, you should order an XL vehicle. So this other person says, why is it that as a society, we are always, I read that part about what he was trying to say about, the people. Another good point that I, thought I heard somebody make, and somebody in here kind of reiterated that, but I heard people saying, how could she be in the back seat legally without that seatbelt? That's another thing, because if he was driving her, even if he was working and he got pulled over by the cops, which we know it happens, when he got pulled over and she didn't have a seatbelt on, or he was asking, I'm pretty sure, a lot of times they're not looking. I don't think, I know a couple of police officers. Maybe we can ask Amy, where's Amy? But are they looking in the back seat for a seatbelt? A lot of times I don't feel like they are, but when they look at her, they're going to ask, because they probably know she can't fit one, right? Being the size she is. And, it's unfortunate, but, it's just people do judge based on that. So I just wonder all those things that, it's kind of like the unknown. We would have to ask a police officer and anyone else. So Delilah says, or Mia says, I read that already. If you can refuse someone who has a child without a car seat, why can't you refuse someone who won't fit? Oh, that's a great point. But she is adamant she could fit. That's the thing. It's in dispute. Now, a car seat is not in dispute, right? Because a car seat is either you have one or you don't. The weight is kind of, it's not ambiguous, but then it is, because she's saying, well, I fit in this car before. I never order, Uber X's. And isn't that something you can prove? Can't you look in her account and see if she ever ordered an Uber X? Like, I would say, as a lawyer, that'd probably be the easiest part of my case, is seeing what she ordered. So if she's in fact telling the truth about that, I can just, request those records and see. And if she's ordered Ubers and she's never ordered an Uber X, that's a plus for her, right? And I don't know about winning the case, but I mean, that's a plus if that's in fact true. What it sounds like happened was the gate agent said, we can accommodate you this time because the flight had room, but this time, right? And she did, this is her own word. She said, the lady said this time. So that tells me their policy is to normally charge you. Next time you need to pay for the extra seat. Exactly. So when she says she's always accommodated, are you really? I mean, one of these days, the Uber, the Lyft just came first where you weren't accommodated. So yeah. Dee, I promise you the policy is you must pay for the extra seat, or you will need to stand by travel on the next available flight with room to accommodate you. You can be there all darn day waiting. I bet. So Taisha said, so the agent telling her she needs 2 seats is okay, but the guy telling her she can't fit isn't. She is ridiculous. Well, but okay, so Taisha, but she did it's a little bit different, because she wasn't able to even get in the car at all. At least she was on the plane. Now, if they had stopped her at the gate and said, we don't have 2 seats available, you're going to need 2 seats, and then the lady didn't let her through, or the lady said, okay, I'm going to let you through this time, I think that's a little bit different, but I do get your point. And Norma's saying exactly, but you see what I'm saying, Norma? I think it's a little bit different, even though I get the point. I do get the point. But I'm just thinking, I'm playing devil's advocate, and I'm thinking as a lawyer would think, and that's probably what her lawyer would say if that example came up. Something like that, and so in her mind, she probably is thinking, okay, I'm in here, I'm in the seat, they can see, what's going on. He didn't even allow her the opportunity to get in there and try it out. He didn't even allow her the opportunity to try to squeeze in there and see if she could fit. Squeeze on in there. He didn't even give her that. He's like, oh, no, you won't. Oh man, geez Louise. That's a great point. I didn't even think of that. Facts. Okay. But Taisha, do you get the point of what I'm saying? um as a devil's advocate now, right? This is not Dee Dee's point of view. Mia says, praise God is what I say, that I don't have to worry about this for myself anymore. It's devastating not to fit. She had to be humiliated. And yeah, that was in her lawsuit. She's suing for discrimination based on her weight, unlawful harassment based on her what? Weight. She's suing for stress, humiliation, mental anguish, and emotional damage. She was upset. So you are right. She was feeling humiliated. The store was a leather custom store. Oh, that she went with Deb. They were willing to make stuff, but they were only there to borrow for that day of the shoot. Okay. Well, again, that's what I'm saying. Deb should have checked that out. Like they should have known. What I'm saying is, you have a rapper. She's on this show. Women have to dress. You're dressing them up. And even if it was a guy, they still, with certain clothes. Clothes is a part of it all. The look, right? No matter what the look is. And I'm just saying Deb should have called ahead and found out if they had something to accommodate her. And if they had to make it and couldn't make it in that day, they should have had another store she could go to, or they should have, probably went and got what she needed, or had somebody else take her and film her, doing her thing. I just think that I don't know. I have to watch the show, but from what I'm hearing, I don't like the way that was handled for her. I think that, yeah, I don't like that at all. Mia said she gave off entitled vibes versus humiliated vibes. Yes, like, how dare you? My friend has this car. Yes, Mia, thank God is no longer a concern from you. Yeah, I'm sure, I feel bad for her, but I mean, what are you going to do? She had the other rapper girls doing stuff for her. She didn't fit in the clothes. She had bought a lot of stuff was hanging all around. And when you say she has a lot of people doing things for her, I think she does has a lot of help, with her, being her size. I saw a video where she was performing, and she had gotten down like her knees. Now let's look at her picture. Look at her picture. She had gotten all the way down. You know how like Meg the Stallion gets down and is twerking and moving on with her knees, is why we call them Megan knees. She had gotten down like that, and she ended up falling over. And can you imagine? I would imagine she was embarrassed by that. She fell over, and it's on video. I mean, if you go on Instagram, I don't know if it's on Twitter. Some people are showing the videos on YouTube where she, had fallen down, and she talked about, and I'm going to say allegedly because I don't want to quote her because I didn't write this quote down, but she said that she, has sometimes had a hard time like tying her shoes and things like that. And she would get, very winded. And so she wants to lose weight, but she also talked about body positivity. And so I don't know why she, got the mindset that she wanted to lose weight. And I really don't even care. I hope, she's successful with it. One of the things she did say was whenever she would go to the doctor, all her numbers would be great. Now she's a younger girl, so I do believe that, because I know as you get older, it's harder to avoid it. When you're younger, that younger body and metabolism and cholesterol and your heart and all that, it can hold up. But for how long, we don't know, because close to 600 pounds, I mean, you can have a heart attack, and I don't think your cholesterol numbers have to be, down for you to have terrible for you to have an unexpected heart attack. So she lost 80 pounds. I mean, that with using semaglutide so far, she's on a weight loss journey. So if you want to follow her, you could do that. But I just think, I think she was definitely humiliated. And, she's a beautiful girl. You look at her, and I'm sure losing weight is only I tell people that all the time. People will get upset when somebody says, oh my gosh, you look so great now. You look so good. You look so good. That doesn't bother me because I thought I was nice looking before, but I do realize when you slim down, it enhances what that weight was, kind of hiding a little bit. So, I hope she's not taking offense to people, when she starts getting compliments, even though she lost 80 pounds, so when you go back and watch that Breakfast Club interview, if you are interested, when she said she lost 80 pounds, they were looking like, are you sure it was 80? And the lady tried to explain to them, when you have somebody that's 500, close to 600 pounds, 80 pounds on her is not going to be 80 pounds on me or, anybody else that's probably under 300. Now, you lose 400 pounds, I still think you would see a difference at 80 pounds. But definitely if you're 300 and under, you lose 80 pounds, you're at 220, you're looking pretty good, right? You're looking good. And so it's noticeable for sure. With her, you don't notice it. I mean, look at her. She would have to really slim down and drop some significant weight in order for you to notice, notice her weight. And that picture is kind of far back. If you see her in real time, I mean, I don't even know how her knees aren't, bothering her or messed up, and maybe they are, and I just don't know. But she's a beautiful girl, so it's like, you just kind of want her to come out of that shell. I feel like she just needs to blossom once she starts dropping weight. And another thing is, she says, she's one of the first rappers, like bigger girls, and just period, to pose nude. She says she posed nude. I want to say she says she posed nude at 500, close to 600 pounds. I don't know if she was close to 600. Maybe she was more like in the 550-ish range. But she said she posed nude. I want to say she said it was 2016. And she said after that, a lot of women had started, bigger girls had started wearing risque outfits. Because if you notice, and I mean, go to this picture that I have on the front. Oh, that's kind of the same one. She wears those bra tops, and good God love her, because I can't even do it. I can't wear those tops outside at my size. But so she has on that bra top, that's her thing. And, she has on I see her in shorts a lot. So she's showing everything. She's showing everything. I mean, not everything, but, she's showing skin, I should say. So she's not afraid to do that. So, yeah, it's just, so I just wonder, because we're all losing weight, we don't want to be judged, and I get that. But I think this is a little bit bigger than the whole judgment thing, So what do you guys think, though? Do you guys think she needs to be on a weight loss journey, or do you say let her live at 500 and, however many pounds she is at 500? Do you think she needs to be trying to lose weight? Yeah, I wonder what you guys think about that. Uh, well, let's see. I'm trying to find some comments in the chat telling her she needs 2 seats. Oh, okay. Telling her she needs 2 seats is the same as saying you are too fat. Right. Right. But I'm telling you, I know that some people will act like that went right over their head, unless you directly say, let's say I have this remote right here. Let's say if I said, that remote shouldn't be on the table. That remote should be right next to the TV. That remote should be out of your hand. That remote should be that remote should be in the basket by the table. I liked it when you put that remote there. Nobody else puts that remote there. I always put the remote in the basket. So I've said everything basically, but go put that remote in the basket. I'm telling you, some people don't get it, and guess what? They don't want to get it. That tells me you don't want to get it, because I've said everything, but just put the remote in the basket. And so, yeah. And so in her mind, it was okay because the lady didn't just come out and say, you're too fat for 1 seat. And some people, I can relate to this, think that way. They really think that way. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But yes, physically fitting in a space means nothing if the seatbelt don't click. That's what matters and truly means you don't fit, even if physically being able to squish your fat around to be smushed in. Yes, and I've had to do that with the car seat, Delilah. I've had to squish my little fat belly around to make that baby fit. I was so worried. I was always so worried. I talked a lot about that in some of my earlier videos, how that was my one fear as far as the airplane. Now my fear is those babies are going to crash into each other in the air. Well, you have seen all the planes dropping. But my fear used to be that, yeah, that seatbelt would not go around. And I've had some close calls with it too. So, like I said, I can relate to this lady. I feel bad for her. I just wish that it had not gone down the way it went down with this driver. Because when I saw him, I just thought he really did a nice job of really trying to, tell her in the nicest possible way that, basically your weight's not going to allow you to get in this car and do it lawfully, right? He said everything but that. And even though we get it, in your mind, if you want to be in that car, you're going to justify every reason why you can to be in that car. So yeah, let's see, what did she say? I think I lost my train of thought here. Okay, let me scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Okay, I think I'm back. I think it's just because I no longer interact with real life people physically. Okay, yes. Okay. I don't know. I missed that other comment maybe up there somewhere. People are butt heads a lot. I had a little kid with their mom. Little kid said, "Man, you are big." I said, "Yes, I am." And it's not nice to say that to me. You're never going to get candy from strangers, little one. You said that. What did the mom say? My daughter said that to somebody. I would not. I would have to tell her, no, 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 we don't do that, honey. We do not do that. So, yeah, that kind of makes me. It's funny that you told the kid that, though. You're never going to get candy from strangers, little one. Until I hit late 30s, my numbers were always perfect. But with age, your numbers start to change. It definitely does. Definitely does. Debbie says she's young, but she won't be walking long. She has an OnlyFans or something like that. OnlyFans, wow. And maybe the OnlyFans is maybe the OnlyFans is when somebody says OnlyFans, I start thinking about like nude and and all things raunchy. And I know it's not all like that, but that's what I thought. But I wonder what she's doing on OnlyFans. I worry about her health, says Mel. Yeah, me too. Me too. Correct, Debbie. She does have OnlyFans. Oh my goodness. Wow. She could hardly breathe to sing anymore. She says she is struggling. She is on the meds. Yeah, she's on semaglutide. You're right, Dee Dee. Unfortunately, she will continue to go around and expect the world to accommodate her. And whenever someone isn't willing to, she will sue. Well, I think she might learn her lesson with this one. And I shouldn't say learn her lesson, but I think I think I don't know. I think she's going to have to pause because she's been reading some of the comments and things that people were saying, even on that Breakfast Club. Like, you guys have to go back and watch that interview on the Breakfast Club. I mean, and I thought they did a nice job of being accommodating to her, right? But the fact that somebody brought up this point, the fact that she needed a different seat at the Breakfast Club, it's and they had one to offer her, right? They had one to offer her. This guy didn't have another car to offer her, but he said get the other the other side. So people were saying by her going on the Breakfast Club and just and showing that she needs a bigger seat and bigger space and more space, that kind of is going to be an argument against her. And I just thought, if you have an open case, I have some lawyer friends. My best friend went to law school, my BFF, and she's not a practicing lawyer, not technically, but it's just I everyone knows, I thought, that you don't go and speak about a case that you have open. And so everything she said is going to be used against her if it can be. And I'm telling you, the first thing I would do as that lawyer is I would get those Uber records, those Lyft records, I'm sorry, Lyft records, and I would go back and see if she in fact has never ordered an XL, because not that she's still justified, not one way or another, but I'm just saying, is that true? Is that true? And how much was she ordering those Uber X's? Because if she could fit in the little cars before, that's what the lawyer is going to probably establish. Now, of course, they're trying to liken this, and it's Black History Month, happy Black History Month, but they're trying to liken this to, the rights, the civil rights, like mistreat, telling somebody you can't get in a car based on race. that to me is totally different because that's only based on your skin color. That's not based on what he's saying about, not her being able to fit safely in his car. So your race has nothing to do with that. Then they're trying to liken it to other people's rights or religion. And I just think that's a bit of a stretch. I do believe in weight discrimination though. I think you can be discriminated against based on your weight, but I just think it also has to be in line with what's healthy and what's safe, right, for you. What's safe should be the number one concern when you're in somebody else's car and you're not driving. So I just think that to me, that's where her argument falls a little short. It has nothing to do with me, thinking that, she doesn't have a right to have a Lyft. She doesn't have a right to be in a car. But I think, you also just we gotta, live in reality where are you going to be able to put that seatbelt on in the back? I don't know. And, it reminds me of, this is a great time to bring this up because you might see my daughter's car seat. My daughter, I have to look up the new weight guidelines, but my daughter is like a little lady, and she still wears the same size. Actually, she wear most kids, and not most, but a lot of kids, as she was growing up, from a newborn on up, she wore the same size as her age, or if not smaller. And like sometimes you could, you have a baby at 6 months and they're wearing 9 months and 12-month clothes. That was never her. Now she's wearing a 6X and she's 8 years old. So she's always, and she's shorter, and and for her as compared to her classmates, and she's within her, right, she's not too little and she's not overweight at all. She's just like the perfect little size. And so based on those guidelines, I have car seats for everybody who travels with her, which is pretty much 3 people. So I have 3 car seats. And this last one I bought, because it was newer, I kept that one in my car. And I have, because of her weight, she still has like that regular car seat. People are like, oh my goodness, now she has other friends. And, another, a friend that's, oh, my battery is low. She has another friend that, is like small, like a little bit taller than her, but her size, and they're in those little seats that don't have like the whole car seat to it. Like, what do you call those? Just the part of the seat that's just like the seat. And when I was doing research, they said, a lot of parents, because their kids get a certain age, they want to take them out of the seats. But really, the safest thing is to keep them in those car seats, like the one she's in, until, she is a certain weight and or grows out of it. So, her friends, I guess, are teasing her. She said, like, this one boy that likes her, was saying, because I don't know if it's a thing with everybody's kids, but these kids, they want to see what other people was in their car. And, it's funny because everybody who comes to my in my car is so disappointed because it's like clean. And the one little girl, we drove her home from the movie one time, and she said, is this normal? Is your car always like this? And we were like, yeah, this is our car. And she's like, oh my goodness. She's like, this is amazing. She's like, our car is never clean like this. But, she said, she couldn't believe that, my daughter was riding in that car seat. And I explained to her, for her weight and size, she still should be in there. So I said all that to say, it's about safety. It's about safety. I'm not really that concerned with the look of it and what other people are saying and what other kids, kids are doing. Because if we get in an accident, I want my daughter to have the best chance of survival. And I don't care what people say about it, or I don't care if it's not the cool thing to do. But I do need to look at the size, because I recently she just weighed when I went, we went and we went somewhere, and she weighed in. They had a scale and she weighed, and so I'm going to check and see if the weight, but I want her to stay in that little compact thing as long as she can with her little self. Let's see. She was told to lose weight because her breathing wasn't good enough to do her bars. She was told by Deb that losing weight was key to her career, and that she had knee issues. She asked for braces for her knee. Oh, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Um, Perfectly Pamela. Hey, 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 with that gorgeous profile pic. I think weight loss should not be necessarily about size, but about health. There's no way she could be healthy at that weight long term. Exactly, exactly. Um, and she is trying to lose. That's the good news. She's on semaglutide, so she's trying to lose, and she's taking a weight loss supplement. I know that. Yes, she needs weight loss journey. I pray she will be successful in her journey. Yes, yes, yes. Me too. Well said. She might have a better case if she had actually ordered a larger car. I know. I know. I know. I agree. It's all about health, and that weight is killing her. Well, and it's probably killing her slowly. Um, I mean, but who knows, Um, I don't know. Like I said, I pray for her. I think, 10 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, I just wonder what she's going to look back and say to herself. Um, she couldn't have been that humiliated if she posted the videos all over social media. If I was that embarrassed, I wouldn't want the world to see. But I think she thought that people were going to be on her side. I don't think she realized. You know what? I think Pamela was the turning point for her for the case is that how nice the guy was. Like if she had talked about this story and had not showed him, I'm sure in all of our minds, a lot of us, we would have vilified him, right? We would have thought for sure he called her fat, for sure he was rude, for sure he was looking at her, funny, for sure he was mean. And if you watch the video of him, he was none of that. He was none of that. And she videoed it because, she said she had a feeling that something was up when she walked out. And immediately, she did what the young people do. She started recording it. And I think the recording didn't do her justice, right? Because she, you every story needs a villain. And this guy didn't really do it looks like anything wrong. Now, whether he was allowed, I guess this is the point, was he allowed to legally deny her that ride? That's the question. And, that's what I don't know. Um, I had a kid do that to me. The mom just laughed and said, "Yes, she is." Oh my gosh, that's not nice. That's not nice. She wanted to go viral, right, Pamela? You think so? Oh my gosh, you always want to see the best in people. She probably did, but like I said, I think she thought that it was going to be she was going to get a different response. That's the thing. She sounds like a professional victim. Oh, she's looking for a money stream. I feel like Mia, what's a Deb? You don't know the famous Deb Atney, Waka Flocka Flames mom. I think that's her Waka Flocka Fame. Is Flame? Is that his name? I feel like this was a means to bring attention to her career. Well, that's why I think she went on the Breakfast Club. I think they called her and she thought, why not? I want to go on the Breakfast Club. They have a huge, huge audience. And I think what she didn't realize is people are making videos now about that Breakfast Club interview and just kind of letting her have it. Letting her have it. The fact that she came in and needed a larger seat or wanted a larger seat, people are just talking about that left and right, left and right. So yeah, I think it did her more harm than good. And like I said, if any lawyer was, worth any, any of their money, that's what they're going to do. That's one of the things that they're going to do. I feel like this was a means to bring attention to her career. I think I read that. I do think the driver could have possibly tried to contact Lyft to see if they had a larger car to cover himself. Not necessarily a requirement, but good customer service. Yes, but I think also her turning that camera on, like he knew he was being recorded. I think that he maybe wasn't probably thinking, in the moment and thinking like this lady's recording me. Let me give her all these reasons why, but I don't want her to get her in this car. Um, so yeah. And then he's probably thinking about his car. Excuse me. He's probably thinking about his car, because that's his car. That's not Lyft's car. That's your personal car, I mean, somebody said, she would have deflated his tires. I don't know if deflating the tires outright is true, but yeah, I mean, it's all kind of reasons why, he probably was just like, no, this is his car. Like Jen said earlier, this is how he makes his money. Or someone said that. Dank Mommy was on the show. It was Deb's House on Peacock. It was Lady Rappers. Now, was the mom a big lady? Do you know that? Was her mom bigger? I wonder, like a bigger lady. Uh, it's not a civil rights issue. If you get turned away from a ride, you don't fit in. Indoor skydiving with the weight limit. Yes. Medical procedures. You have to have a certain BMI for them to be done safely. So why is this different? That's a good point. That's a good point. Um, yeah, when you think about that, like I said, the example I gave of, about the clothing, how, you might have to pay more for clothing over a certain size because it's more material, it's more work putting it together. I do get that. Now, do I love that? No. But do I understand it? I do. I do. And you have to think too on the plane. If you're spilling, how like some of your fat rolls kind of spill over on the other person's seat. If you're a certain weight and that's just bound to happen, you have to touch somebody to that degree. I mean, I do see you needing two seats, and of course those airlines are charging. Healthy Spirit Podcast says it's rough. I can't make up my mind about it. I feel like situations like this make it hard for overweight people to make legitimate claims of discrimination. Amen. Amen. The world is already laughing at us. That is so true. That is so true. Yeah, and it backfired because, people are like, you're that big and you expect people to accommodate you. No way, no how. And somebody said this in one of my lives last week, and I don't know if it was Mia or Delilah. I mean, it could have been either one of them. But somebody said, it was Friday because we were talking about dating and things. Or maybe it was Jen who said this. But they said it's, as far as weight, there are what they call them. There are levels. There are levels to this. There's levels, and a lot of things have levels. And I also think your weight has levels. There are certain levels to being overweight. And once you get past that point, and I would say that point is somewhere over 300 pounds. I don't know what the number is, maybe closer to 4. But at some point, when you get over maybe that 350 mark, I feel like there's a shift and a change in people. And I've never been 300, so I haven't felt that. But just the people that I know that have, and I've seen some interactions, and people give you a look, don't they? They give you a look like almost like you discuss them type of look. And so all of that I can feel for her and relate to. And all of that, just kind of my heart goes out to her. But I also think how much can you expect the world to accommodate that size? You know what I mean? Like there has to be like limits, right? For everything, it's probably limits. And what if you went, what if the weight limit was when you're skydiving and the weight, to get in that parachute? And I don't know if there's a weight limit to that because that's something I won't be doing and not even interested. But let's just say it is. And the weight limit was 300 and they let you go over there and on that parachute or that ride or jump out the airplane or whatever you're doing, but you're over that weight limit. Your family, if something happened to you, your family probably would and should and want to sue whoever let you go, knowing that you were over that mark. And how would they know? Maybe they make you weigh in before you even, because sometimes I know they look at you and say, oh, so I know some people have told me that they've had to weigh in, just like they have that height thing. I guess some places have like a scale, and they'll have you get on it because they have been sued before. They have said, for letting somebody get on something and they weren't that weight. So it's so hard to eyeball it because I think a lot of people never would have thought I was 300 plus pounds, and so that just goes to show. And it's people who I see that are over 300 pounds, and I never would have guessed that they were that way either. So I guess eyeballing it is not the smart thing to do, especially now that people are so lawsuit happy. Perfectly Pamela, when the driver cancels the trip on his side, Lyft is notified to send a new vehicle. So essentially, he did just that. Okay. So when he canceled the trip, you're saying automatically. Okay. Um, oh, Delilah, I didn't know that. I didn't either. I didn't know that either. I'm 5'2". Well, if he would have said it though perfectly, Pamela, on her recording, that would have helped his case even more. His defense, I should say, because as far as I know, he's not on the offensive, he's on the defense. Delilah says, I'm 5'2". I should not be a passenger seat with in a passenger seat with an airbag. It's dangerous for someone my height, and it could be deadly if it engages. What? So you should be. So you're telling me you should be sitting in the back seat because you're 5'2"? Is that what you're saying? Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. Let's see. Wait, I think I went down. Okay. Um, okay. I'm 5'2", Delilah, Pamela says, and never thought about that. Is that true? Oh my goodness. Hi, Graham Toby. Also, when he canceled that ride, he took a strike. That hurts him. Oh, does it really? I did not know that. I've been so engaged in this conversation. I should text my friend that's a Lyft driver um, to see. Actually, she just texted me something about that video on the downsides. So I should have texted her to see if you know if that's true. I want to know about the car. So I have to let you guys know on Friday when I'm back on Friday what she says from a Lyft driver. Yep, that's why young teens are supposed to sit in the back from the dangers of the airbag. Oh, I did not realize that. So as a teen, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. So you guys know I teach little ones, and when they're getting in the car to go home, we don't put those kids in the car seat if there is no in the car if there is no car seat. There's also a police officer out there that's there in the morning for drop off and in the afternoon when the kids go home. So if a parent gives us a hard time, we call that police officer over. So even you have to be safe, and you'll be surprised that, and you guys are probably doing that. Who knows? I don't know what you're doing, but really, your kids should not be in that front seat. The kids need to sit in the back, and we enforce that, right? Because we're at a school, and our job is to keep the kids safe when they're in our care. And even though they get in their parents' car, you're going to leave out of that parking lot doing the right thing. Now, what you do after you leave out of the parking lot is up to you. But it's so many people that would violate that if we didn't have a police officer there to enforce it. And because I think people aren't thinking about accidents and what could happen. They're just thinking about getting from one place to another. I think they have posted right to refuse service. Okay. So why was he fired? That's what I want to know. Because if I was him and they fired me, you couldn't even offer me that job back based on GP. I wouldn't want it. So, and I don't know. I'm not like a sue happy type of person, but if I got wrongfully terminated, this was all over social media. I probably would sue too. I would sue. I would be having a countersuit. And I would countersue Uber, right? And I don't know, maybe I would sue her for showing that video of me like that. Because are you allowed to do that? Like, are you allowed to just record people and post it all over social media without their permission? I don't agree with that at all. Delilah says, part of me felt like she did it on purpose, the ordering of a tiny car, recording the incident. It was part of a bigger plan. Oh my gosh. What if she really did that? I didn't think about that. I think everybody said that. People are agreeing with Delilah. You guys think that? What? Oh my goodness. Now I need to ask, what's a Waka Flocka Flame? He is a recording artist. He's actually from Atlanta. And he actually was he had some hits out there. I'm sure you've heard his hits, but it's been some years. I don't know if he had recent music. But yeah, he had a show, him and his wife and their daughter, they had their own show on WeTV. I don't know if you guys know what WeTV is, but yeah, I used to watch that show. But his mom is this big hip hop. She's discovered Nicki Minaj, his mom. So his mom is this big time, and now she's not because she's kind of faded off. But she used to be this big time manager in hip hop. And so I love hip hop. That's why last week I wanted to do this story last week, but I, talked about Irv Gotti and how he passed away of a stroke at 54. And I know that because I was into hip hop, and I like the good old clean version of the hip hop music. But sometimes you can't always get that. But if I can, that's what I'm listening to, or the radio edits. But yeah, so yeah, Waka Flocka Flame. He's probably like he probably thinks everybody knows who he is. Pam's laughing, Pamela's laughing. Jen, she sure does. Okay. Machine Gun Kelly's Wild Boys video. I don't know. What is that? I don't know. If obesity ran in her family, she just told about taking care of brothers and sisters. Okay. I think she did say that her dad was a bigger guy. Let me see, because I did see that. I think I wrote that down. She said, yeah, she said her dad was a bigger guy. She said when they were younger, they used to ride in a PT Cruiser. I'm gonna have to go get tissue. Do you guys know what a PT Cruiser is? Let me know if you know what a PT Cruiser is. She said she used to ride in that. I'm gonna put this on the stage while I go and creaky floors. my, my floor, some of my floor doesn't have carpet. I have an area rug. I had to blow my nose. I'm sorry. All right, so I have my fan on. Maybe it's safe to take the fan off. All right, so you guys have a lot of comments. Obesity ran in me. I canceled that generational curse, but all the women except a tiny handful are overweight. I was always the biggest in my age group. Okay, yeah, she did say her dad was I don't remember her saying anything about her mom. I remember my mother telling me about someone on a 600-pound life getting stuck in a cab and they had to call the fire department. What? I've never watched that show, but I want to go back and watch it. At this rate, I got so much going on. It'll be the summer before I get to my 600-pound life. But wow, now that would be so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, that would be like my wake-up call for sure. But you just never know what trauma people have had in their wake-up call. It's obviously everybody's different, but wow. Oh my gosh, really? I thought I seen all of them. I must have missed some. Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I'm pretty sure it happens. Let's see, Delilah. People look at you like you're less than a human. However, we respond as our choice. She responds with entitlement, and that's not cool. Okay, and Deb says she said her dad was big, but two skinny brothers. Lawsuits like this is why people make fun of us. I agree. It is so true. Oh, not to mention how people look at your partner for being with you as subhuman is flipping shameful. Yes, you have you gotten the looks before? You know exactly what they are. Graham Toby says we can lose our jobs if we cancel too many rides. So you could lose your. So are you an Uber driver or Uber always wants to be the first thing out of my mouth, or a Lyft driver? Are you a Lyft driver? We could lose our jobs if we cancel too many rides. Oh my goodness. Are you the guy? Are you the guy that was driving the car? We want to know. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be something? Oh my goodness. If the front has an active airbag, yes. I just had ours disabled. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I'm gonna look that up. So Delilah, if you got my car, you gotta be in the back. You gotta be in the back. You're absolutely correct, Grim. Okay. Even if it's not your fault, they counted against you. They do? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I agree, Debbie. It's so shameful. Look at Tammy, 1,000-pound sister. She had to sit on the floor of the van because she didn't fit in a van. Is she 1,000 pounds by herself, or is this with combined with somebody? Amy never wore a seatbelt because they didn't fit, and she was 400 pounds less than 500. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. I guess I need to hire a personal driver and sit in the back from now on. Well, yeah, if you're 5'2". Oh my goodness. I did not know that. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. I agree with Delilah. Haha, right, Pamela. I think that too, but I just throw caution to the wind as a short queen. Waka Flocka is a good looking man. He is a good looking man. He had a big change of heart and came back to being cool with his mom again. Okay, okay. I never knew they fell out. I always thought they were so close. PT Cruisers are old cars. She was saying when she grew up as a kid that that's the kind of car they drove. I might have to read you the quote. I came prepared today. I came prepared today. Yeah, this is the quote when she was talking about that car. She says, let me see. I don't know if this is the childhood one, but she said, he says, so this is them talking to her at the Breakfast Club. She says, yes, I always ordered the regular cars, and I feel like I don't have to order an Uber XL or a Lyft XL. I feel like I don't have to do that. That same car, Lyft XL. I feel like I don't have to do that. That same car was a Mercedes. And then that's when the guy says that same car was a Mercedes, and it's the same car that her best friend has, and she rides in that exact same car. And she said, man, look, I be chilling. That's why when we saw that car, I said, okay, I could fit in that. Big people know what cars they can fit in, don't they? Do they though? She said, do they though? And then he's and they and so somebody, I don't know who else was big in there, but they said, yeah, we do. I can fit in any car. And somebody said she gonna dress herself like that. I don't know what that meant, but yeah, I guess one of the co-hosts in the background. I don't know. And then she says, yes, yes, I can. I can fit in there. She just told you that she sat in a PT Cruiser and she was fine. Yes, I did. I was in a PT Cruiser. And she says, I was in an escort too. What's an escort? S and then it's S/court, COURT too. I don't believe I don't believe I was in a cruiser. Yes, I was in there. It was in the escort. And I was also, they said they didn't believe she was in a PTR cruise. Somebody said that. And she said, yes, she was in the escort too. And somebody said, I don't believe, and this might be in a Charlemagne, allegedly, but he said, I don't believe you can fit in no Prius, though. He said, she said, yes, I can. Back both. You're not playing with me, man. You're not playing with me. I can fit in the car. So she's saying she can fit in the PT Cruiser. A PT Cruiser is a small little car. It's a small little car. But I do agree with her. I do think that big people know what they can and cannot fit into. I do think that. I believe that. Now, do I believe she fit in that PT Cruiser? I would have to see it. I would have to see it. I would have to see it to believe it. Yeah, that's all I'll say. But if I'm going with her and giving her the benefit of the doubt, she could fit in it. Yeah, yeah. Waka Flocka is in the Wild Boys video. Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that. Chrysler, and it looks like a mini hearse. It does. It does. You are so right. I couldn't stand PT Cruisers and ever had one. LOL. Oh my gosh. Yes, PT Cruisers. Yes. Perfectly Pamela. And Delilah says, yep, and mostly being only being bought by car rental companies. Oh, is that true? All right, Grim says, I work for Lyft. Yes, we have a Lyft driver in the house. They say we are contractors, but we don't have the freedom of a contractor. Okay, so my question for you, Graham Toby, is okay, so if it's your property, I get that you're a contractor, but if it's your property, do you have the right to say, and maybe your guys are saying this in the chat, and I'm way up here. I don't know what you're saying in the chat, but if so, you guys see the point I'm at. This is where I'm at in the chat. But I just wonder if it's your car and you think it could somebody's weight can do harm to your car. You're not allowed to say without being fired that no, you can't drive in this car. Because we saw what was on video. We saw the guy wasn't rude, he wasn't disrespectful, that sort of thing. So I don't, I guess I don't know why they fired him. So can you answer that for me? Grim Toby for the win. If this was like a free throw, you hit 15 in a row, because you might can answer all the questions I have. And then can he say also, Grim Toby, could the person say, you couldn't fit in the seatbelt, so I also didn't think that was safe. Maybe he didn't say it at that point because he was probably nervous and the spur of the moment, but I would come back with that. Yeah, lawyers, call me. I guess, come to our chat because we can help you with your case. Mia says, I just didn't use a seatbelt if I didn't have to be in 426.6. She had that 0.6 in there. Like she meant that. 426.6 pounds. Okay. So yeah, so you said you didn't use a seatbelt because you just didn't feel comfortable. Could you fit one in a back seat though? I'm sorry, I just don't know. In a back seat, but the back seat though, that seat belt, because that's how I put that back seat belt. I've stretched it out because I put my daughter's car seat in there, but the seat belt kind of goes through the back of the car seat. So yeah, I just wondered that. I am both. What do you mean I am both? Oh, Uber and Lyft. Wait. Tammy was 600 pounds less. Okay. Uber and Lyft, and no, I am not the driver. We need like a paternity test like Maury. I am not the father. I am not the driver. So you work for Uber and Lyft. Okay, very good, very good. A regular car is not the same as a compact car, which is what she had. A PT Cruiser was a compact SUV. Okay, okay. A compact. Is that so? That's considered an SUV. You learned something new. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting sleepy here. Okay, Debbie says she is delusional and mad at the world and herself. Oh man, Debbie. Debbie says she is delusional. It's a Ford Escort, a tiny car, and I don't believe that for a second that she fit in it. Because remember, she said even in high school she was 532 pounds, I believe, allegedly. But I remember her saying that, but allegedly. Riding in the front seat of a car is different than the back seat. So using your friend's car as an excuse doesn't work. Well, I'm thinking, was she in the back seat of her friend's car? Maybe she was in the back seat of the friend's car. When you drive a vehicle, you need to be as far back away from the steering wheel because of its airbag. Okay. Oh, okay. For any of us. For any of us. Okay. All right. All right. That's good info. Mia says you are a multifaceted lady, Miss D, keeping up on the tea in the rap world. I think Deb picked another rapper over her son in a feud, so they fell out. Then they had a big scare and a change of heart. Okay. I see. I don't remember that because I've always remembered them being tight, but yeah. Miss Deb, though, she is hardcore. I love that name, Debbie. All things Debbie. My mom's name is Debbie. And so I love that name. But Miss Deb is no nonsense. Like, I would not want to be on her bad side at all. Her son, daughter, mother, father, nothing. She's no nonsense. And her brothers, like they're all from like the streets, well, they're no joke. Technically, I can fit in a small leotard, but it doesn't mean I should. Right. Well, I can fit in a bathing suit. That doesn't mean I'm going to wear one. Yes. Perfectly, Pamela. Mia says airbags break sternum in the chest, if not far back from the bag. Yes, yes, yes. Oh gosh, yeah, those airbags are something else. But they supposedly could, it's either that or saving your life altogether. I guess it wasn't big enough all the way out to buckle in and back of. Oh, sorry, and back in the back seat of my old car. Okay, all right. Wow. Now, back seats are smaller than front seats. Okay, yeah. Oh, so she would be in the front seat. Okay. So Pamela's saying that how would she know she could fit in the back if she's always riding in the front with her friend. So that's a good point. But I was just thinking she would probably say, "Well, I have also, rode in the back," but who knows? I was 300 pounds growing up, and we had an escort. Guess what? I didn't fit. It didn't fit you in the back seat. So you think she's not being honest? Oh my goodness! Like, geez, Louise, her case is falling apart right on the downsizing diva. Yay, I like that name, Debbie, too. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So you guys are so awesome. Is Kim in here? Is Kim J Sweet Healthy Life? Kim, are you still here? I don't know if she's here, but I have to tell you, today Kim came out with this video, and I don't know, it's probably not appropriate, but we're talking about weight and food and all. I guess food gotta go along with this. And she had these brownies, and they were the best brownies. They look so good. I've had those Prime Bite brownies before, and then she put some pecans on top, and I was like, "Geez, Louise, I want to have some of that brownie." So I'm gonna have these brownies on my mind. I might have to get some of these brownies, Kim. I don't know why she put out that video about these brownies, but I won't do it until Sunday. Sunday is like my little treat day. Yeah, Pamela, I want to tell you, girl, I am so sleepy. In some of my videos, I noticed those videos where I'm looking tired, like right now. And I know I'm looking like that, it's I could maybe try to spice up my eyes or make, things look different. And I just say, I'm just gonna be me and be on there looking sleepy and tired. It's just, whatever. I'm just gonna be looking sleepy and tired. So yeah, so Kim, we're gonna go check out that video. I'm sending everybody over there. Kim J Sweet Healthy Life. Where is she? Look at this, little thing here. I'm sending people over there to check out those brownies. I told I said to Kim, I won't be I won't be buying those anymore. She's like, "Why? What happened? What went wrong? What's going on?" And I'm like, "They were just too good. They were just too good." Beverly sent me those in her care package. That was because I know not to buy those. Because I'm the type of person, I would eat that instead of eating my dinner because I probably couldn't get the dinner in. So I was like, So Beverly sent me those and I tried them and they were really good. She sent different flavors. The chocolate ones, and I'm not even a chocolate fan, but she sent carrot cake. One was like a birthday cake, kind of. I want to say like a confetti it had on it. And then the other one was chocolate, and that's the one I enjoyed the most, the ones you had in your video. But I love a good pecan. And so to add those, I say pecans, but to add those pecans to it, now that looked good. And then you put it in the microwave. I'm just like, what is this lady doing? So now I got pecans on the brain. Tomorrow night I have conferences. So I don't know if I think I might take my injection tomorrow and that'll quiet this noise, this chatter I should have. But I don't know. This might be noise. I say chatter because I'm not having that loud, like, oh, you got to think about food. But ever since I saw that video, I've just been thinking about these brownies. So, okay, that's our commercial break for the brownies. The Healthy Spirit podcast says those brownies are so good. She hooked it up. Yes, yes, yes. She did. She put those pecans on there. I'm like, geez, Louise. No, I fit, but the seatbelt didn't. Okay. Well, this is our commercial break. 19 grams of protein, no guilt. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So go check out that video if you want some brownies with those 19 grams of protein. She is a Healthy Spirit podcast. Go check her out. She said there's no guilt. I don't know, but I just know it might be too good to be true. All right, last commercial plug, and then we're going to go back to the Lyft driver. The Lyft driver. They were yummy, guilt-free, chocolate, protein, collagen, fiber, low sugar equals guilt-free deliciousness. Try it every now and again. You'll love it. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Grim, what is Grim saying? Grim says, Lyft says we can cancel any ride for safety and emergency without it counting against us. If the driver did not say anything to her, he still might have his job. Oh, so the fact that he told her that, he should have said nothing. Okay, now that helps me understand because I was wondering, why is this driver Why is he being fired? Why is he being fired? Okay. So I'm going to read that again. Lyft says we can cancel any ride for safety and emergency without it counting against us. If the driver did not say anything to her, he might still have his job. Okay, okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is so, so crazy. Okay, well, I'm just sending prayers and well wishes out to that driver. He's had so much publicity. He probably can make money just interviewing with folks at this point if he really wanted to. He's just been kind of under the radar, which also makes you think that, he is, what do you call that? A nice guy, just a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. I feel for him and his family. Whoever was affected by him, losing his job, if he lost any kind of income, I feel bad for him. So I want to say that. I also feel bad for her. And the reason why I feel bad for Dank, what's her name? Dank Moss. I feel bad for her because um, she needs help. She needs to lose some of that weight. I think you could have body positivity and also realize though that at some point this is going into like your health, right? It's not healthy. And to be that size, it's not healthy. And she said she doesn't have high cholesterol. All her numbers are good. And like I said, she's still young. I want to say she's in her 30s. I'm telling you, that's going to change. That's going to change. We all know that. We all know with age that changes. Everything could be the same. You could be eating the same. All things could be equal. And then that age, your body is aging from. We always think about our bodies aging from the outside, but your body is also aging on the inside. And I don't think that's what she. I don't know. Maybe she does realize that. Did I mention earlier? She said she had a thyroid issue. She is on semaglutide. She's lost 80 pounds so far. She has a lady working with her. She's taking a weight loss. I've never heard of a weight loss supplement. When the lady, because my ears, prickled and perked up when she said that. And she said that, and I don't take any kind of weight loss supplements, but I never even really heard of a weight loss supplement the way she described it. You have to listen on the Breakfast Club. But she talked about that it was a multivitamin with like vitamins and minerals and things in it. So, I'm just wishing the best for this lady, Dank Demoss. And, I'm wishing her the best. I hope everything works out for her. And I don't know if she apologized to the driver, but she did say, her goal in this was not to get the driver fired. Her goal didn't have anything to do with him. But he was the catalyst. Like, he was the catalyst. So, she says that, and I don't know what she thought was going to happen, with the whole Lyft situation. So it's just kind of sad all the way around. I feel like it's just really sad all the way around. All right. So, what are people saying about this? Delilah says, I believe he lost his job because of what he said, but because it went viral and brought negative attention probably to the company. But they have to, I don't know, do companies have to have a reason for firing you, or can they just fire you? And does he have a case? What about, let's see, what's Grim Toby? Does he have a case? Could he sue, do you think, based on what you know? Could he sue? Thank you for tonight. Have a great day at school tomorrow. Check out my Dank Moss video. Oh, okay. She has an interview with Michelle McCain, the Broadway singer. She is amazing, and I saw that was up there. I need to go and watch it. Yeah, you know how you get notifications. When I was driving home and I was at the stoplight, I saw the notification. So, all right, we're gonna check out Debbie's weight loss. If you want more insight or want to hear a discussion about this, she said thank you, Debbie, for saying have a great day at school. Check out my Dank Demoss video. Okay, very good, very good. Michelle McClain, sounds like she can sing, whoever this Michelle is. Dank should start a weight loss channel. She does. If you want to follow her, she does. She has, now I don't know about, not on YouTube, but she does have a weight loss channel. I don't know if it's called a channel, but it's on Instagram. So if you go on Instagram and type it in, you'll find it. I think I follow her as the Downsizing Diva on there. Jen says, Mia, are you not weighing at home? Let me see. Mia said something about taking an injection. I know I saw that, but I was trying to stick to the topic. So are we all done with this topic? Because if so, we can move on to something else. Healthy Spirit Podcast says drivers are contractors, not employees, right? I used to drive Uber Eats back in the day, not an actual employee. So I guess that question would be for Graham Toby. So I think he did say that they were contractors, right? Earlier. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. This is Healthy Spirit Podcast. He says, I work for Lyft. They say that we are contractors, but we don't have the freedom of a contractor. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. Let's see. He's not an employee, so technically canceling his contract is something they can do. But if he flies in the right venue, he could win. Okay, all right, very good, very good. If he files, I'm sorry, in the right venue, he could win. They are considered contractors. Kim says, okay, all right, very good. All right, so Mia, let me go back up to so let's end this Uber conversation. We'll do Wait if somebody wants to shout out their Wait or any updates, and then we'll head out. And then on Friday we're having our regular date night on Friday, but we're also going to be celebrating like some wins, some successes, and my 1 year on Manjaro. How about that? One whole entire year on Manjaro. And I want to tell you guys, if you have not seen my little interview at the Downsize, I want you guys to go and check that interview out. Let's see if I can I don't know if I can share my screen to check that Downsize interview out. I thought I went kicking and screaming to the Downsize because interviewing is not my thing, but here I am. Shay's 50-pound victory on GLP-1. So you got to listen to the interview. It's so funny because you can tell when people aren't listening to the whole interview and they email me about it or they make a comment, and I'm like, I say that in the video. I know it's a long video, but if I say some things that I haven't talked about on my channel at all that you might want to catch, and that stuff I kind of say in the beginning. I kind of tell my little weight loss story. So yeah. That was only my first interview. She said, stop, you are the interview queen. Me interviewing, not interviewing other people, me having an interview. That was my first one. Interview where I went on somebody's channel to interview. So, and like I said, I went kicking and screaming to you. I didn't, and I say that in a playful way, but they've been asking me for a while, and I kept saying, I'm going to go on there. And I finally went on there, and they're a lovely couple, very nice. I just love them. I think they're, like they are, have a nice thing going on. I always wish I had like a person, like a sidekick with me too, and they're not that they're a sidekick, they're a team, but like a duo. That I think that would be so cool to have a duo, and like they have. You don't think it's different? I do. I think it's so different. Interviewing, it is interviewing somebody and actually being interviewed is two totally different things. Now that I can say for sure, that I know for sure. That was a non-skill victory for you, Downsizing Diva. Did it even though you are shy? Yes, and that's the thing. I am shy. People don't believe I'm shy, but because once I warm up to you, I'm talkative. And I have this BFF, and she always says that people don't know how to take me when I walk into the room and in the room and stuff because I'm quiet. I sit back and I smile and all of that. I'll interact if people talk to me, but I'm not like my bubbly self at first. I just kind of laid back, and so, but it's because I'm shy. I've always been shy as a kid, and I thought really the weight had made me into an introvert, which is kind of not like me, but gaining that weight, just I like being by myself. I just got so introverted, and really what brought me out of that was my my daughter. That is what, because with the kids and, you have to interact. But it also allowed me to, when you're with the newborn at home, that's your excuse not to be amongst people. So it's so true, even though, you might not think so. It's very true. But, I'm just shy. And the funny thing is, a lot of people that I interview are shy. You would not think they're shy because they're content creators. They were. And so that's why sometimes, I'm talkative once I get started, like on the downsides. But, it's like that nervous talkative. I never want that quiet energy. And so, but these ladies were so talkative. I mean, so quiet. I had to do a lot of kind of like talking and sharing about myself. And once you do that, you ease people up and they feel more comfortable and they feel like they can share. And so everybody, just kind of loosens up and I do think I'm easy to talk to. I really do think I'm easy to talk to. And so, but yeah, that downsized interview, I thought it was good, to watch yourself back. It's like, geez, Louise, do I really want to watch myself back? But it was cool. It was cool. Jamie B, welcome, Jamie. Jamie says, "Hi, Shay. I saw you on the downsides earlier. This Lyft lady is crazy. How is she still posting stuff and going on podcasts? Lyft can use all that evidence against her case." That's what I said. That's what I said. That's the first thing I said. And if I wasn't an educator, I never thought I would want to be a lawyer. But yeah, I could have been a lawyer. Because I'm going to gather those facts. I'm going to get those receipts. And that's the first thing I said, like, what is she doing? I remember I told you my BFF, she has a law degree, but she does not practice law. And I don't know if she graduated from law school and all that, but she does not practice law with her, job that she's had. She's never. But, she's a detective. She'll find out anything she can, with the skills that she learned and the connections that she has. And so yeah, but that's something that I think I would, probably be good at. Over the years, I learned that about myself. I didn't know that before. Yeah, so okay, let's see what Toby's saying. Most states have the right to hire and the right to fire. There is a class action lawsuit in 3 states against Lyft about us being labeled as a contractor but not being one. Oh, okay. All right. All right, okay. Most states have the right to hire and the right to fire, unless you work with a union. And then that's why unions, I'm a union supporter. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, so I have, some friends that are entrepreneurs, own their own businesses. And, of course, if you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, you're probably not a fan of a union. But if you are somebody who, works for like a government type job where they have unions, they don't, you have certain rights before they can fire you. And this is why people want to get rid of unions, because they want everybody to be able to just be fired, and not have those rights. And, you always hear about the unions. They get a bad name, especially in education, because, you hear about, educators or some teachers doing things, having inappropriate relationships with kids. And those people are put on, administrative leave while they're, investigating the case. Because, remember, in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. And that's why that happens. But the same thing with, police officers and, anybody else, some of these, other government workers are put on administrative leave while they're investigating. And so that's a good protection, but everybody doesn't have that. If you work for a company, they don't have to do that. Some of these companies have the right to hire and fire you based on just, and what they do is they build a case against you that you weren't the best employee, and they build that case against you and they can get rid of you. And a lot of times people don't sue, they just go. I feel like at that point, if the company is trying to get you out, most people might sue because they've been forced out and their lifestyle has had to change. It's been such a, inconvenience, but most people don't really want to deal with that. They just say, peace out, I'm out of here, give me my pay, what you owe me. Or they could collect unemployment. Now, a lot of people say, that's okay, let me collect that unemployment while I look for another job. So yeah, it just could get tricky. Let's see. I don't think she cares or wants to win. She's just getting her attention. Jeez Louise. Oh gosh, I just hate to think somebody did all that and did all that for attention. But I guess you guys are right. People do. That's why Joe Rogan does hour-long interviews so the nerves can break. Yes, 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 yes. It's a real thing. It's definitely not the same for me. And I guarantee if you ask people that interview, actually you being interviewed is totally different. It's totally different. But if anybody's interested in interviewing, come on my channel and interview. Me too, DD. I say I'm shy around people I don't know, but my friends say not shy at all because I am because I too am. They say I'm too talkative to be shy. But that just goes to show that you're comfortable around those people. Like the people I'm comfortable around, I'm not shy. I'm pretty, talkative. Um, yeah, so I said, well, bashful, then especially with people I don't know. They said, well, that's a better word for it. Well, I asked my cousin if I was an introvert, and she said, "Well, I wouldn't say an introvert." She said, "I would say shy," but I think she reconsidered once she realized what an introvert was. So some people don't know what these words, mean, and they just have an idea in their mind. And then when they actually look up the definition, they go, "Oh, okay, now I see what you're talking about." Yes, you, Kim J, have calm all around. You speak with purpose. Yes, yes, yes. I know many of you have been let go from their jobs being union crazy for dumb reasons, but others for legitimate reasons are still there. So who knows? Yeah, that's there's never an all or none. You know what I mean? It's like, there are people who legitimately need to go, and then there are people who are legit who have legitimately been accused of wrongdoing and didn't do anything wrong. So it kind of goes both ways. Sorry, it was not Lyft that has the lawsuits. It was DoorDash that's being sued for the contractor employee issues. Okay, okay. Thanks for clarifying that. Um, you could be an extroverted introvert like me. That is too cute. I love that. I love that. When mine when my when business paperwork gets done, I will. Okay. I think I missed that. I missed that. Can you clarify what you're trying to say there? I'm sorry. Delilah says, I don't think I could ever be an interviewee. Okay, so you don't think you could ever be somebody that is being interviewed. Okay, all right, that's okay. That is okay. If you are interested though, come on there. Let's see. Yeah, I just had an interview here recently. Don't tell who you were if you're in here. I like it to be a surprise who shows up on the interviews, but I enjoy that. I enjoy the interviews. Yeah, I really do. I enjoy that. I enjoy getting to know people and talking to people. And like I always say, I think success leaves footprints. And so we all try to be successful. So it's nice to see somebody else do, and maybe you can take some little tidbits from them and incorporate it into what you're doing. So that is it for me. Oh my gosh, I am so tired. I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed and just chill out and relax. I got a long day ahead of me, a long night tomorrow, and then I will see you guys on Friday. On Friday I want to try to make it fun again. I thought the games were fun. I have a couple of game, ideas left over that we didn't get to all of them. And so, I'll incorporate that. We're going to celebrate 1 year. Anybody else celebrating anything at all? Come on Friday. We're going to shout you out. People really like the drinking game, so we may do that again. So if you have something you want to drink, and this could be a mocktail or a cocktail, bring that. If you have a recipe for a cocktail, send that to me and I can post it on here for people to be able to see it. If you have a good mocktail recipe. I want to try that BioCare. I want to make that. I think that's what I'm going to drink on Friday night. I'm going to drink that BioCare. I'm going to mix it. What should I mix it with? It's chocolate. I saw you mix it with water. I have one of those little frothy mixer things. So you mix it on with water, and can I put fruit in there, or is it just water? Because I was like, oh, a good banana would go good in that. I don't know if I would want to eat a banana that late at night though with the carbs, because I try not to eat the carbs at night. But yeah, so what do you guys put in those bio? You got to let me know what do you put in the BioCare Maybe write it in the comments because we're all tired. We're all ready to go to bed. Everybody saying good night. Thank you guys for coming. Great discussion. Great discussion. It's good to see you. Healthy Spirit Podcast. I love it. Mia says I just got Ultima strawberry margarita. Mia, don't you go. Good night, Toby. Thank you for helping with this discussion. Mia, you said something about. Let me go back up to where you talked about. I saw that, and we were trying to stick to this topic. Where is that comment you made? Okay, here it is. You said, I'm doing my first 10 milligram Zepbound shot tonight. I didn't lose 28 pounds. Nurse got it wrong. Lost 9 pounds. Glad I have you guys on here. Oh no, so it wasn't the 28 pounds, it was the 9 pounds. Okay, but 9 pounds is still good. It's still good. But oh my gosh, I know you were like, geez, oh man, lady, you got me all pumped up. I think that's still great. I think that's still great. For you to do that, Mia, that you still lost. That's still a big loss. You're almost in the double digits. Not being able to move around, not being mobile after a surgery. So I hope you're still giving yourself credit. All right. So what are you saying down here, Mia? Mia, where did that go? Oh, okay. I just got Ultima strawberry margarita mocktail water. It's addictive. So what is it called? The Ultima strawberry margarita mocktail. What is it called? Mocktail water too? Like is that the whole name of it? I don't know. It sounds good. Good night, everybody that left. If you're still sticking around, I'm trying to see what's going on with Miss Mia here. Delilah says, I have BioCare. I have used ice and Fairlife. Oh, Fairlife protein milk. So you didn't use it with the water. And I do have some vanilla, not vanilla, like regular Fairlife protein milk. So I could use that on Friday. Mia, great loss. Yeah, that is a great loss. Ultima. Okay, I've never heard of that. Ultima. Where'd you get that from, Mia? All right, bye, Kim. Bye, Kim. Mia, where'd you get that from? And then after that, we're gonna head out of here because it's 10 o'clock. My bedtime, you guys know my bedtime is 10:30. That'll give me a chance to wind down. Flavor is strawberry margarita. Okay. All right. It sounds good. You got it from Amazon. I didn't know you did an interview, so I'm off to find it. It's on the Downsize channel. The Downsize. Bye, Mel. Melly Mel. Look at that beautiful profile pic. Bye. Have a good night. See you on Friday, Mel. So yeah, go to the Downsize, Delilah. My interview is on there. Yeah, it's on there. I'm downsizing on the downsize. Let's see. I'm gonna refresh the screen. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's on there. It's doing well. Okay. All right. Well, you know what, you guys have a good night. I'm headed to bed too. Everybody have a good night. Mel says we'll end with Mel. Mel says, see you on Friday. See you on Friday. I will see you on Friday, Mel. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. All the content creators that were in here, I'm going to put their little names up, even though they left probably already. We have Debbie was in here. She's a content creator. Go check out her video on Dank Demoss. We have Kim J's Sweet Healthy Life. She's in here. She was in here. Go check out her channel. And the brownies, all thing brownies. Simply Taisha was in here. Here is Taisha. There she is. She's Simply Taisha. Go check her out. Then we have, who else was in here? Perfectly Pamela was in here. Perfectly Pamela, go check her out. She has video. She's on the compound about her weight loss journey. We had Healthy Spirit Podcast. Go check her out. Delilah, we have Delilah that was on here. Delilah's been dropping videos every single day. So go check out Delilah. And I think that's it. If I missed somebody, I'm so sorry. Jamie, thank you for coming. This is the first time I've seen you in the live. Toby, Graham Toby, thank you for coming. And then all the regular fam, thank you for coming. Sweet Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life, dropping those purple hearts. She's still here. All right, so you guys have a good night. I will see you guys on Friday. A great live, great live. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining the topic. Bye.